Hi. I just felt like um recording this. Um and this is a feeling. Hmm. I am feeling like a uneasiness in the background. And this happens sometimes when I go out, and especially if I sing. Um, but not only, just because being in places with a lot of people um, do something sometimes to my energies, and I just wanted to tune in and um, to show it instead of hiding it and doing it in my space, in my um, cave, and maybe it's a video to watch whenever you feel like uncentered or that outside was a bit too much. My moon period is coming probably tomorrow, so it's also an emotional moment. I know, and now people say that I don't know that it's trauma that have not been processed or something, and it's not supposed to be painful, the moons, and I appreciate the information, but sometimes it's just adding something like that's wrong with you. And my moon are already sensitive, so I just don't need to shame that. I like to think that something is wrong with me. Some of us are tuned with a collective, and I know we can cut it or something, but the soul chose the experience, and the human don't have that much control over it, I feel, for me anyway. Everyone has its own truth. Anyway, let me tune in and see what I need, and hopefully it's what you need too if you stumble onto this video. I don't think it's a coincidence. Thank you for being here. And yeah, let me help my moon, my energy, and my energy flow again. Okay, let's close the eyes and just feel whatever needs to be felt. This space is a safe space where any emotion is welcome. It's a space to feel it all and to let it flow again. Yes, there is dogs here. Music. But the sounds that don't like triggers, maybe feel the triggers. start to tune onto the line. Yeah, it's itchy. I call upon my team from beyond. However you call it, doesn't matter. Let them come into space. May only the energy that are vibrating in unconditional love be welcome here. I don't know if other people have that, probably, but I struggle a lot sometimes. And mainly when other people are involved. By myself, I'm quite happy with my own energies. But when I go out, and fun fact, no one is mean to me or like absolutely not. I'm surrounded by lovely people. But for now, almost none of them feel like family or home or like I can be myself. And I want to get to a point where I can be myself all the time. But I have this intuition that adapts to what I know people can handle. And I don't know. Probably it's exactly what is needed, you know. But a part of me wish I could just let out all of what is inside and let it shine. And I know it will disturb. I'm already disturbing. I'm already disturbing. Not always in a bad way, of course. Like some people are thanking me for my light, for my voice. So of course it's not only bad or good, it's just I don't know. I still feel a part of me that isn't seen. Even when I try to show it, it's not seen. it's been seen by some people, but most of the people don't see it. And it is... I wish it was okay for me. I wish it can be enough. Yeah, I wanted to cry. I felt this... I don't know if you, like, probably you experienced it, but like this uneasiness behind, like in the background, like, and it doesn't go away. And sometimes I need someone to let it out. And weirdly enough, recording seems to let me let it out and hold space for it. So here I am. Now, you may always not want to share it online, so I don't know if I will share it. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I know that 3 days ago I had this uneasiness, and I was talking with a friend. Yeah, that works too. And then this song came to me, and it was saying that it was kind of an attack from the Matrix, and it put back like the protection. In this case, it was like dragons, and and they're like surrounding me and the space I am in. And now that I think about it, I didn't ask them to come with me outside, so maybe I exposed myself. Oh, it was something else again. Seems like it was something else. No, now it's more like a scream from my soul. But it is not enough. My human experience outside is not... It's feeling frustrating. And I'm screaming, I want more. I want to scream and to let it out. And I need to be invited for that. And I wish, my human wish. I don't know, for some people it's like, why are you like calling it your human and like your beyond self or instead of higher self, and like you're separating yourself from your human. And I don't see it this way. It's more like there is this human I'm navigating, and that has some struggle, and my soul doesn't have bad struggles. And sometimes it's the soul that is struggling, and sometimes it's the human. And you could call it the ego or whatever. And for me, it's not something to get rid of. It's something to learn to navigate and to like really hold space for the human, which is with full of patterns and programs that we learn during childhood and teenage years and even as an adult. And it's kind of interesting to navigate life. And yes, at the end of the day, it's all one. I mean, even I am you, you are me. Whoever is listening, if ever I share it. But in this game, we also feel separate. And like just being authentic with all of that is good for me. It's how I learn to accept it, like the experience of the human, my soul that has also needs sometimes, often. And my human that does also have a lot of needs to like eat, sleep, and emotional support, and like with the mind, it is directly like going from the human for me, like and also like telling the mind sometimes like shh, la 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 la. When I listen to it already and it's just going around and around and it's like non-ending, then I intervene. It's kind of an interesting journey. Being human is I don't know, I find it super intense. Sometimes I don't have the courage to go outside. And then I force myself to go outside and it's like not a good idea. I know for some people it might be a good idea to force themselves to go outside, but I feel like when you're ready to go outside, you go outside, and it's quite easy. If you have to force yourself or to convince yourself you're going outside, and it's more like a reason of the belief of like, I have to, blah blah blah, I should. The shoulds often like it's more the ego talking, or like what you learned. And it makes sense in a way, yes, good, better health if you walk every day or something, like move your body, it's true too. But I feel like we're in a new world, and there is new rules, and the new rules is to listen to your needs from the body, but not with the ideas of like the stories of what is good that you learned from outside, but to listen from inside, what is it you need, and it might not be what you think it was, and maybe it is, I don't know. I don't need to navigate it. So many people with so many beliefs, it's like overwhelming, especially when you enter the spiritual world. It's so overwhelming, and it's always, you come out of this matrix world where you were always feeling like wrong, and then you go in the spiritual world and you still feel like you're always doing it wrong, or not enough, or like not enlightened enough or something. It's so interesting. Yeah, so it's more like, what is your truth, what your body's telling you, and especially these days with all the transition of the body, it's like sometimes I'm knocked down and I just cannot move from my bed for a while, and then again I just wake up and I can go out and all is good, it's not permanent. But if you have a space, give yourself a space. If you don't, rest as much as you can when you can, or be active if it's what you need, like whatever it is you need. I know in this world we don't always have space for that, but if you can make it, if it's what you need, I don't know, just feeling and following your flow of life is the best gift you can give yourself in these times. It's like crazy roller coasters. Just so much. And if you're like me, like a only child that comes from parents that don't do the work of like releasing and stuff, I feel you. It's like a lot. It's yeah, but thank you for doing it and owning it. And I know also, like, if you have, even if you have siblings, often there is one that has like the whole work to do in some ways. I wonder why we do that to ourselves, or maybe just one is enough. But I feel like it could also be good to have everyone, you know, like what I do when I tune into those trauma and things that I need to release that are in my body because it was stored. Then I tune into the generation before, for 13 generation, and I ask them to tune into it with me, and I ask them to do their work, especially the ones that are not incarnated. I ask them to do it with me, because it's theirs in a way, and it's we can just work together. I mean, I know they're really happy I'm doing the work for them and everything, but I mean, that's a lot for a human, so I need help, and help from the one that wants you to do the work seems like the best way to do it. And of course, beyond self and or higher self, however you call it, and the team, and you can call help whenever you feel like you're dealing with a lot. Calling for help, state what you want, like you already have it, maybe. Often that's the best. But also the funny thing, and maybe frustrating things about like, is when you stop really wanting something, that it just comes to your life. It's really like, what the fuck? I'm sure you experience it, you know, like looking for your keys and you want to find them, and as soon as you stop searching, they just appeared somewhere. And it's the same for anything. It's just this wanting sometimes is also the energy of lack. So when you release it, like the pressure, and let the universe, or however you want to call it, like manifest for you, then it happens. So yeah. Yeah, I guess I feel already better. I just need to cry a bit. And also maybe just to see that was my soul that wanted more. Which is okay. Like, you know, sometimes your experience is not matching the work you did inside. And it takes time to recalibrate in the physical. And I did a lot of work in the inside. It was like crazy work. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's so intense from a human, and I feel like for this kind of work, I will not put it on YouTube because there is a need of commitment or timing. Like there is the need of an exchange. I feel like that because that's so intense to move through that. And it's not something you want to do on YouTube. I mean, what I put on YouTube is already powerful, and it doesn't seem to be attractive for some reason, which is totally okay. I mean, I know the sound is not the best, and there is a dark sometimes. So I'm not taking it personally. I know it's always better live too, but I feel like at some point it will happen. I mean, I'm visualizing like a huge like stage, not maybe not a huge stage, but a lot of people in front of a stage, and I can like channel and help everyone transmute things through the sounds, and they can also make sounds. Like, everyone is welcome to make sounds when it happens. But it's not yet, and I'm trusting the timing. I'm trusting the energies. Yeah. But yeah, it's so interesting how I can see how I'm surrounded by beautiful people. But it's just like I cannot connect with them. And when I try to force it, it just doesn't feel true. And I know how it goes when it's a soul family connection. It's just so easy and happen and like... So forcing it never works. I do put myself out there from time to time and see what happens. But yeah, it's so interesting. And I have met some, and I will probably meet other new soul, I'm sure. I'm quite excited. And I love to meet others also, like some that resonate with what I offer. Really enough right now, there's not many where I am because I'm a nomad, so I move a lot. So I'm in contact with some that really resonate and love it, but they're not in the country I am right now. They might come later or not, like because we are nomad and we are flowing, so we don't have plan. And so we will trust whenever we meet, and a friend might come here, I might go to another friend, another friend, other friend might come here, or she might come to the other place, and like we would be 3 people there that know each other, which is a lot. I usually don't have that many people that I know before going. Yeah. Also, I feel as a nomad at some point, you get tired of connecting deeply with some people to just move, and most of the time you don't really keep contact. So the thing that I'm trying to say is more like, when it's super deep, yeah, always I'm interested. But if it's just like superficial, I don't force it, or I don't feel like pursuing anything because I might just forget. It's just like too many people that I'm meeting all the time, and everyone is telling me that they love my songs, and I love that feedback always. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I just get tired of the traveling part, and I know we're going to settle somewhere. It's just not where I am, and it's not where I'm going next, but it might be where I'm going after that, which is on the way. If I go there, it's not sure. But that's the idea. It's like so interesting how you really have to surrender for this kind of life, and plan doesn't work anymore at all. And every time I have a plan, it can crumble, and I just have to surrender and be patient, because we have a plan. It's not a plan, but like the guidance come through, and then I know. And sometimes it's a dream, sometimes it's a, I don't know, aha moment, or sometimes it's just a price that is down, and that is from where I'm going. It felt like going, and so I just book it and I go. But I cannot plan. Even songs, I cannot sing a song that is from the past or like someone else's. I can sing it, but then my voice gets sore and blocked. So I have to always flow. Yeah, it's just this calling of it has to always be channeled from the now moment of the now energy, what is needed to be heard, and or just to jam and to tune. I love to jam, but it does take away from the power of my songs. So sometimes I like a cappella more. That's why all the recording are a cappella. And I know some people want to have some background, and you can have it with someone else, I'm sure. Or maybe I will, I don't know, at some point find background that I enjoy flowing with, which would be could happen too, but honestly the most powerful channel I always had, and that probably will stay that, a cappella. And I'm saying that as a harpist. I used to play harp for 12 years, so I do know music. It's like I studied music, the theory and the playing. I just don't have my harp with me because it's a huge instrument. Yeah, it's at my parents' house. Didn't move. And if I need funds for my travel, that might be it at some point, because I don't feel like I will go back to live in my country where I'm born. So there's that too. Okay, so that was a bit about my experience as a human. I don't know if it's any interest. I do hope that maybe like find the one that are a bit like me. The other thing that is really struggling for me being outside, and that I didn't say, is that I can see beyond the mask of people, and I sometimes don't know how to react to what they are saying when they are not being true. And every time I'm like, yes, and moving on, I feel like I'm kind of betraying myself in some ways, which I'm not, but yeah, it's like hard to say what I'm seeing because people don't want you to see, and then it's hard to navigate it. So yeah, it's like this empath. I don't know if there is ever listening, but can be super challenging, no? Like this also tuning into the group energy, and if you cannot do anything to transmute it, you have to go out away at some point. And I also struggle now because of the music. Most people just do music in a way that doesn't give me any chill, and I don't feel like, I don't really like it most of the time. I don't dislike it either, but I don't want to listen just to people please. And at the same time, I'm not someone that wants to hurt and say, that's really bad, because it's not. It's a beautiful voice, it's a beautiful guitar and everything. It's just, there's nothing happening for me. I'm a bit bored. I do appreciate the quality of the music though, and the voice. I can see it. I mean, I played harp, so I know. And also I know that if you pretend to play good and you don't stop and say oops, people usually don't see that you made a mistake. Just a tip. Because today at the open mic there was a lot of that, and which was so cute. And in a way it's really cute because you have people encouraging you after, so maybe that's better, even to show the people that you feel like you're messing up, but you are not. Yeah, we don't pay attention to the details, it's more like a global music thingy. And some people will hear it, but mostly the musician, and depending on their expertise, sometimes you know what it is, sometimes you just be oh, something is not feeling in tune. For me, sometimes that's it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I prefer people not in tune, but there is something the soul is there in the music. But if it's a performance, I hate performance. I don't hate them, I just find them a waste of my time. Which might be cruel to say, but I really don't mean it in a bad way. Just I'm in the pursuit of what is true, and what your soul wants to share, really what's coming out. And if you sing with a mask on, not a performance musician, and you add the performance vocal, and you have so many masks like that, and I mean, maybe I could feel something from someone like that. It's possible. Most of the time I don't, but I'm not saying that it never happens. But I know when it happens, it's mostly that the masks are not that thick or something. Someone is really singing from the heart, and that I had this friend that she sang for the first time in front of people, and the voice objectively was not in tune, not great, but I got chill. It's wow, and it's so beautiful. I want to go back to that. I wish we could just all go back to this moment out of time with music. Stopping to perform, to make a beautiful voice or beautiful music, but really the raw, I want to hear that. I want to feel it in my bones every time. It's yeah. Please do. I want to feel it. I want to feel. Yeah, I'm tired of everyone hiding behind the mask. I know I hide in my place most of the time. But I'm in my place, but I'm not hiding there from myself. And if I go out, I'm not hiding from others. I mean, I might say things by reaction, by like to not like trigger. Not that to trigger, but you know, like sometimes someone say hey, and you don't personally like enjoy this person, but you just answer hey in the same tone. I think it's okay. Like for me, life is hard enough without like adding I like it, I like you, I don't like you, you know, like if I don't like someone, probably it's something but I'm not always conscious about that they are like mirroring, like putting out in my face. And I think that's okay to not putting it in their face. I will still like tune into why I don't like what happened in me, like if I'm still afraid of something that might happen, or like because it happened in the past, or like because I can feel that they are not true, and so instead of putting it in their face, I'm just like tuning into okay, like they are not true, but like why does it trigger? Like it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's their choice. If it's a close friend, then yeah, I will call it out. But like if it's someone I'm just crossing path with, I don't see the point in like being. You're saying that you enjoy my music, but did you really? Because most of them, yes, but sometimes I can feel that it's not. But like it's like when someone went to stage, there's kind of this obligation sometimes of like saying something nice. Oh, but funny enough, there was this woman that would not saying something nice, and always I think she was like, oh. Which is her choice. I just find you don't have to make it obvious like that, but why not? I mean, it's a choice, and it was a very interesting experience for me to see her obviously not liking my voice and obviously liking the other woman voice. Like she was doing it in a very obvious way, and it was a bit triggery, but I still sang all the way. I didn't stop, and I still feel like most people enjoy it. But it's not for everyone what I'm singing and what I'm doing. I find it so interesting though. So it's not people pleasing exactly what I would call it. The social part sometimes is more like the people not triggering on purpose or not being mean or conflict. I feel like most people need reinforcement and not to be brought down, whatever is happening, you know? And so it's more like being nice. But as long as you're not going against me or like attacking me, because then I'm not staying nice. I'm not. No. I know I look like it, and a lot of people try it. Not a lot, but some. And they get surprised. Because I'm nice, as long as you're nice with me. And I can bite. I can get spiky if something is not respectful. Before it was like if you didn't respect someone else, especially a friend, I would come out at you if needed to defend. But now I do also it for me. I used to not do it for myself. Now I do it for myself too. It's like I can defend others, so I can defend myself too. And so interesting how people put you in the box, you know, like, oh, she's so nice, we can take more, snap at her, there will not be consequences. Oof. But they are. And I'm not being mean at all. I respect other people. I want to be respected. And I treat other people as I want to be treated. But if you don't treat me well, I'm not going to say, oh yes, keep going. Keep hurting me. Thank you. No. Anyway, I don't know why I say that. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, I'm not someone that usually people attack. It just happened a few times. And they get surprised of my reaction in general. Because I'm not going to answer to people please, or to pretend that I'm agreeing with them if I want. Especially if there is manipulation behind it. It's like I'm seeing you coming from very far away. My father used to be a manipulator, so I'm trained from birth. So any people manipulating, I see them so far from, like, it's for me, like how I describe my father and any other people trying to manipulate, I see them as like elephant trying to like walk on tiptoe. Like for me it's the same. It's like an elephant kid that is like walking on the tiptoe and thinking you don't see them. Like, see you. I was like, huge. Huge. So yeah, no, doesn't work. And yeah, so, and I feel like a lot of quiet people, we observe a lot. So we know a lot. It's not because we don't say it that we don't know. Like, we see you. We're not going to like expose it all the time because it's life, and like we all experience life. If you come asking me for advice, then I will tell you what I can see, but only if you can help. I'm not going to do it to like put you down, except if I need to defend myself, which I'm not going to defend, but like to protect, more like to protect my boundaries energy. Like, boundaries is very important to me. It's like so fucking important. Why don't people ask before touching if they can touch? I don't get it. It's like, you don't know. You have to ask every time. I ask if I want to hug. I open my arm and I'm like, hug. And then if they say yes, I hug. If they say no, I say, okay, thank you for telling me what you need. You prefer a handshake or like, hi? You know, is we need to be more conscious about that, especially with women and children. Don't force yourself on children. Don't force your kisses and hugs. Ask. It's traumatizing. I remember still. Like, what? Like, it's not because I'm a child that I have to kiss you. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that, but as consentment is a important topic. that is needed to talk about, I feel like. Especially for women. But like men, so many men don't know the basics. They just try to kiss and you're like, ew! Seriously? And it's when you catch it in time. Like, ask before. No, it's not going to ruin anything. But maybe it can like avoid me being kissed if I didn't want to be kissed. I mean, that's like basic. And yeah, rejection is a possibility, but not asking is risking to kiss me without my consent. Is it better? I don't know. For me, it's not. It's like, and honestly, I'm one of these women that if you ask me consent, like, it's sexy. I might still say no because if I feel a no, but I'm recording that you know consent and that I can feel safe with you. Isn't that great? Maybe later I will ask if I can kiss you. Who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. Because I will follow my body. I don't want to force anything on me. And for a woman to tune back into the yeses and no is also a whole topic. It's crazy how we were taught to not listen to our no and yeses. And even when we say no, it's like there's in the man's head there's little no and big no's. And so sometimes they just don't listen to it and do whatever you said. Don't do that. And it's already asking an effort to put boundaries and to say, please don't do that. And then they do it anyway. And then I ask, why did you do it when I told you not to do it? I'm sure you heard me. Oh, but it was not a big no. It was a little no. For me, there is only big no's. It's like little no's are big no's. And any woman, it's just like, you can ask again if you want. But like not too many times either, because if you ask too many times, then sometimes I know from experience that we end up saying yes even if we don't feel the yes, just to please. I don't do it anymore, but I know how hard it is to say no, and like having to say it again and again, that's not okay. Like, it's not. Sometimes we just need time. Like, women, we are like slower than men for this kind of intimacy. Like, we need intimacy, like vulnerability. We need to feel like we can trust, especially the one that has been traumatized in the past by other men. And so we need time. It's like, and also to know that you're not one other man that is going to put more trauma by not listening to the notes. Just saying. It's like, I don't know why I'm talking about it, but it's a big subject. It's a big thing. And I've experienced it even in the spiritual community that is supposed to be aware. But there are some men that are like just not. But didn't know about consent. And even if I tell, like, you're going too fast for me. Once I had the answer of like, that's the slowest I can go. Well, then please stop all. Yeah, no, thank you. If this is your slowest, it's like way too fast for me. So thank you, but no, thank you. Like, you have to protect yourself as woman. And these early stages tell you so much, because like if it's like that before even like having done anything, then how will it go when you already got closer? It's like, if he cannot listen before knowing you, how will he listen when he knows you? Like when he doesn't know you and you're telling what you need, and he doesn't listen, that's a red flag. Like, run. Oh, don't run, but just leave. And if it is listened, green flag, like, good. Like, you can stay and you can, like, see how it goes. I don't know. Or if you don't feel the yes in your body, it's also good. Like, follow your own intuition. But just some red flags are huge. And that one is a very big one. Like, little no's, like, even if you say something like, don't open this door in your house, and the next thing it does is like opening the door. Well, yeah, I mean, this is not personal, but like if it goes for a kiss, like it's going to be very messy. Because like, if don't open the door, he doesn't listen. I don't see how he will listen to the boundaries that he will take personally, like, don't kiss me right now, I'm not ready, etc. Touch and all of it. Yeah, so intimacy. And that's my part of it. Of course, you do it your way, and you can voice what you need. If you don't like to put boundaries, and like, if you're okay with someone that doesn't listen to a nose, I guess that's okay. And just, I would tune into yourself. Like, are you listening to your nose? Because that's also something we don't always do, and that's crazy how we learn to not listen to ourselves to a point where it feels numb, and to a point when you begin to start to try to see, okay, is that a yes or no? Sometimes you don't have an answer, it's like nothing. And so then you can let it happen, and you're like, yes, no, I don't know, it doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't partly feel good, and I don't know. That's okay too. But like, to really feel into it. And as soon as it's a no, say it. But even if it's like not a no, but like it's not a big yes, and maybe it's a no. Also, like, at the beginning, I feel like no's are also good to start with. Like, I don't know. I just like, I would prefer to risk no's instead of yeses, because I've said too many yeses that I didn't mean. So, and if I say a few no that I don't mean, I feel that's the safest for my body right now. And then I can go back to it and say yes again, if it feels like a yes. Okay, we're into something completely different. I don't know why. It's interesting. But yes, that's life for me, how I'm learning. And I'm really learning to feel my yeses and nos. And even, like, funny fact is that, I mean, if you believe in spirit and channeling and everything, I have answers like that when I talk. I can feel like, that's not right, and when it sometimes like, yes, yes, that's the information, and I can feel it like that. It's also this yes knows are also tuning back to your guidance and to your truth and to your own answers, and so it's kind of the beginning of channeling in some ways. Like, if you can, like, also you can stand up, and you can put like yeses are like moving to the front, and like no's are moving to the back, and when you ask question and you see if your body moves. I don't know, so many other ways, but this one is kind of one I'm using the most sometimes when, like, the mind is sometimes a bit messy, especially if it's something a bit more close to me, or like I have attachment to the answer. When I just stand up and I let my body decide which way, yes or no. And then I do whatever I want because the human has a choice at the end. Yep. Like, the truth is, the human has powers, relatively, depending on your contract. But you are powerful as a human. Like, the human have a choice to, like, if it doesn't want to follow the guidance, it can. Just the only thing is, like, if you were supposed to follow the guidance, you might get in an accident at some point. But like, if you really have to do the thing that you don't want to do or see the thing that you don't want to see, it will come to your face to a point that you cannot ignore it. But there is still a choice to see or not see, or to follow or not follow, and to, like, whatever you want. It's a choice. Okay, so thank you for listening. I'm not sure if I will put it on my mind. I don't know, I will ask. It's a long one. It's like 1:10 and now 1:11. But it's keeping going. But yes, anyway, thank you for listening, if it was online. Hopefully it helps. I don't know in what way, but there was a lot. And I'm a bit too messy, I think, for these things. I need to put a theme and talk about the theme. Maybe that would be better at some point. I'm hearing no, so I'm just meant to do it messy, like I'm doing, which is also how I work. Like, I just talk and information come through. Because it is a mix of my human information and channeling. So, I don't know. Thank you for listening, for being here. If you feel like it, you can like, comment, follow, subscribe, follow. Is this probably the same? I don't know. The Insta thing that people that not Insta, the thing that YouTube people say at the end, same. Because it does help, especially in this setting where, like, channel is really at the beginning, and so it really does help a lot. Every like counts, every comment, everything, anything that tells YouTube that some people might be interested by what I'm offering is needed. So if it does resonate in any way and you want it to continue, let it be known through this algorithm thingy. And if not, it's okay. I might jump to pattern, or I don't remember the other name, insight something. That might be more aligned with what I'm offering. But for now, I guess I'm still putting it on YouTube, probably. Or I will just delete it. I don't know. We'll see. Sending you a lot of love. Thank you for being. And I hope I see you in other dimension or around, or next time, or in the past, in the other videos.